I couldn't figure out how I was going to act this character. And Simon, he said, no, you have to become this person. And so I worked really hard to be able to jump in her world and her skin a bit.
We wanted to give her the opportunity to get in absolutely the best physical shape, mental shape, and to look as much of an expert as she could in all the areas that she's going to have to pursue.
I'm trying to learn how to fight, not just pretend in front of the camera. I'm doing a bit of everything. Taking yoga and strength training, weapons training. But it was great, because after 3 months, I'd lost any kind of touch with my normal self. Laura is very, very much a girl. I wanted her to have her curves, and yet there's something triumphal about her. We worked on things with the hair, and I wanted her to have a mohawk. And she kind of does. There's a braid that goes like this. Also, I wanted the clothes to be monochromatic, mainly just to keep it about the shape.
Somehow there's something about how Angelina is herself and how her clothes are that have kept her slightly separate all the time from her environment. And you could show Angelina 5 pieces of fabric that are grey, and she knows which one exactly will suit her. Lots of pajamas, about 60 pairs.
So I'm just going to come tighter on this camera, okay? It looks great.
Then the whole debate started about what colour they are, what kind of pajamas, you know, what are they made of. Simon kept saying, I want them to flutter, they have to flutter.
There was something very technical about the clothes with her. It took us weeks to figure out the belt harness and how the gun harness and the straps around my legs would stay on and stay up. It was kind of really complicated.
Angelina had really, really strong ideas about what she didn't want to be like. She didn't want to look like a biker girl, you know, with torn-off clothes and really worn-out stuff.
So the clothes, we wanted everything to be flattering and fitting like, you know, she wears. And the shorts, it took me until I think 2 weeks before filming to agree to get into a pair of shorts. Just to get me to walk around in these clothes, I felt like I was naked for the first few days.
Lara Croft, she's so sexy. She knows exactly what she wants, and she knows she's capable of doing lots of things and having fun with it.
Do you want me to shout 1, 2, and then they go under, or can you just take it yourself?
Right, so I'll take that moment, I'll readjust. Okay. We talked about it in the beginning of this film, that the big thing for me would be to learn what I could from this person and kind of become her as much as possible. And so I wanted to be able to do as much as I could. Go ahead, throw it at me. I can do this.
Angie had to go in training for this for quite a number of weeks, and I assumed that I'd be shooting most of it with a double and we'd just be shooting close-ups with Angie. And then I went to see how she was getting on, and she could do it all. And I thought, this is fantastic.
It was all her. We did not use a double at all. You know, she does double, triple somersaults, coming right to the floor and then taking her right back up again. And that is something for a leading lady. Your star to do that was absolutely incredible.
Well, they got what they came for.
How are you going to get the clock back in 15 hours?
I'll be calling in a favor.
These movies are really often quest movies. It's all about finding something and going to strange places to do it. I wanted to go to real locations that were exotic and unusual to the audience, and it was hard to think of places that hadn't been seen a lot on film.
Cambodia is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Angkor Wat is what, the largest spiritual building in the world. And it was stunning.
It's amazing. It's so beautiful. The lilies and the reflections, everything. Unbelievable.
Well, originally, I wrote the idea to be the Great Wall in China, but it was not possible to organise getting to China in time. The alternative was to build the Great Wall in Scotland, and the prospect of shooting in Scotland in the winter didn't appeal to me that much. And also, when I thought about it, I realised that the Great Wall would only give me sort of one big element, and I needed so much more. So I looked around the world for other great settings, and I happened to come across Cambodia. All the time you're walking, you're trying to see her.
Okay. You walk amongst those temples, and the scale is so enormous, and the detail is so rich that it's beyond comprehension. You can only just marvel.
No films have been shot there since the early 60s, so there's a whole generation out there that have never seen a film set in that environment. And also this great undiscovered temples there in the jungle that have been abandoned for 400 years, and so they have trees growing up through the roofs of them, and you just can't build that kind of scale and reality and have the real insects, the actors really sweating because it's so hot. It looks totally real because you're there.
And action! You must get the clock back, Lara, and destroy it.
Things happened that you couldn't really plan.
256, okay, take one!
And we had 100 Buddhist monks in orange robes suddenly walk past you, and so you turn all the cameras around, and so, you know, we have to have that in the film, because how often do you get 100 Buddhist monks walking past this temple?
She comes here to center herself, to find help, and they heal her. I think the lesson learned here is to listen to people, to be open to things, to look around you. She's led by the magic of the place.
The Cambodian sequence is a very mystical part of the film. It's where a lot of things come together in terms of the story and in terms of Laura's understanding of her past and herself.
You know, it's kind of, in a way, is the spiritual heart to the film, and I think it touched us all in quite a profound way.
It's actually magic here. I just stepped out of the middle of chanting, and I don't think I've ever been so calm in my entire life.
I think that's my favourite costume, and it's almost the only bit of colour in the whole film. And it is, in fact, oddly, a colour that she loves. And they give her some pieces of fabric, which are in the monastery. And it's inappropriate for a woman to wear the orange, which the monks wear. So we had to kind of try and make her look like she'd been given something by them, but without wearing the colour that they wear. Simon put her so that the sun shone from behind her, and I just thought she looked luminous.
And we cut. And board, chop. It did take a huge amount of organisation. We had to send people over here, months in advance to arrange everything.
We've recruited pretty much all the staff you see here because as the locations team, we've been here the longest.
They were all very good. Timing was perfect. Well done.
Everybody has been well impressed by the locals. And same with the extras. They've been phenomenal, you know. They've never done this before. This is the first time.